Do you guys wonder what Ganon's up to?
Gee,
That's all I ever wonder.
I wonder what Ganon's up to.
I just wonder what Ganon's up to.
Yes. Those infamous games and more tonight on the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast, where we're going to talk about Zelda spinoffs. We've got Jack.
Hi.
We've got Cloud. You can call me Cloud. We got Landon.
I just wonder what Ganon. No, we already did that.
Yeah, we already did that.
Great. I'll grab my stuff.
So, Zelda spinoffs, it's a topic we haven't covered yet. We covered the rest of the game, so here we are, might as well. You would think that with Zelda being such a big series, like a big franchise for Nintendo, you would think, okay, there's probably like a lot of spin-off games for this franchise, right? Not really.
Kind of. I mean...
Sort of yes, but sort of no. Like, if you compare to like Mario or Pokemon or like the other big guns, no. It's got more than like Animal Crossing. It's got more than like a bunch of others, but this series has been around for 40 years, and you'd be surprised. I had to cram in games that we would not normally talk about for reasons I will get to when we get to those games. And there's multiple different categories for that. So I hope you guys are ready to mostly talk about a specific trilogy of spin-offs for the majority of this podcast and one other game. That's not the trilogy, but that is the one other game probably. Yeah.
I don't have my copy on me.
Link's Crossbow Training, that's another one we'll be talking about. Let's just go roughly in order as we usually do. The first two games that I want to bring up are a duology. There's 3 games that are in this little subset that I think Landon's thinking of, but there's 2 that are specifically like together. We've got the first 2 of the Zelda CDI games. We might as well get them out of the way. You got Link: The Faces of Evil, Zelda: The Wand of Gamelon. They were both released at the same time on the CDI on October 10th, 1993. Fun fact, again, they were released the same date. They are a pair of games. You got Link as the playable character for one, Zelda as the playable character for the other one. Neither of these games are very good, and they also have a lot of really funny animated voiced cutscenes that to this day we all know thanks to being re-uploaded to YouTube and going viral. And yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that has survived of these games. It's very hard. We didn't play any of these, and I morbidly was curious, and then I looked up Zelda CDI or just Philips CDI emulation, and apparently that shit's fucking impossible, and I was not going through that kind of effort just for Zelda CDI, so I did not play any of these.
One day, I will own a CDI and these games, but no thanks.
How much is that?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
would
probably way too much.
I think the CDI itself is expensive, but maybe not as expensive as you'd be thinking. But I've not checked the prices of the Zelda CDI game, so I have no idea. But these games are both side scrollers, by the way, and they are known for being very bad side scrollers because of the collision and hit detection, the controls being awful. Like, they are not very well responsive. The characters do not control very well. I've seen clips of gameplay and stuff, and like I've watched like coverage like AVGN and stuff where like basically everything you need to do, you have to go into a menu like Zelda 1, but there's far too much action happening for that sort of gameplay to be tenable, on top of the games just being dog shit. But at least we got the funny cutscenes like, I'm melting! Good.
It's perfect.
Good.
No, it's you've killed me.
There's someone who's selling all 3 games for a new low price of $1,799 plus $20 shipping.
Ooh. So that's even worse than the CDI prices itself, I'm pretty sure.
Sorry, Link. I can't give credit. Perhaps come back when you're a little, richer.
That person is in the Netherlands, so that
explains
everything.
That's Morshu. Morshu is selling those fucking games.
Of course. So, yeah, Zelda CDI, the first 2 games, they came out at the same time. They were a duology. They were made by the same people. That said, I forgot the developers for these games because I do not care enough about them to put them down. So
It was Philip.
Whoa.
Genuinely,
there was an actual
games...
group. It wasn't Philips themselves, like they put it on the platform.
No.
But
I said Philip.
Philip. Just one guy named Philip made these games. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm willing to go with that.
Philip.
The Philip.
It's the Philip of Philips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? Sure.
Out of all the Philips, he's one of them.
These games, genuinely, their legacy is via YouTube poops.
Yep.
Like
YouTube.poop.com.
There is nothing to say about these games gameplay wise because they're bad. They control like shit. I mean, I haven't played them, so I can't say for sure, but like general consensus is that these games are clunky, slow, and control like shit. But the cutscenes are really funny.
They're all-timers for sure.
Really funny.
Landon, do you one day
many iconic characters?
Landon, do you one day want to play these games?
No. I have no desire.
Honestly, you have all but basically just disowned these games' existence.
Yeah, they aren't real. They can't hurt me.
They're real. They're right behind you.
Shout out to the guy on YouTube that made Morshu reads the entire Bible without using AI, and it's 84 hours long.
What the fuck? That's...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Morshu has 17 seconds of dialogue, by the way, and that's it. People just make fucking entire books out of just that.
Morshu is the most iconic Zelda character, confirmed.
He really is. I have nothing else to say about these games.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're very funny.
Yeah, we can move on. The next game is the third of the CDI games, and this one was a little different than the other 2, developed by different people as well. You had Zelda's Adventure, released for the CDI on June 5th, 1994, for North America. And Zelda, once again, is the playable character for this game. But interestingly, it's a top-down, so it's more of like your classic Zelda game. But they use like a lot of live action stuff, so the backgrounds for the different overworld areas are adapted from like photos of real world locations that were taken, and also they use like live action scenes for like the few cutscenes there are. There's not as many, not even close to as many as there are in the previous 2 games, but they actually use live action instead. So it's a little bit closer to a typical Zelda game. And you play as Zelda. That said, it's still not a notable game, and considering it doesn't have the iconic cutscenes that the first 2 games did, I think some people probably forget that this one even exists, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I've heard and I've seen it seems to be better gameplay-wise just for what it is, but that's not saying much as a CDI game, and... I mean, you don't have something laughably, memorably funny in whatever way to like really...
I mean, the cutscenes are still there, don't get me wrong. But the gameplay is better? I haven't played them.
Yeah, so I did want to mention that it is a drastically different game, but that is the third of the CDI games. So, Landon, did you have anything to add about Zelda's Adventure? Have you seen Zelda's Adventure in action before?
I've seen like a little bit of it. I try to pretend like these
games don't exist. That's fair.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where you're just like...
That's fair.
It's like Jack and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah.
It's sort of a pair of games. One of them, I'll get into it, but so normally when we do these, we only talk about games that were released in North America. but there's so few spin-offs in general, and a couple of them did not come out in North America that I found interesting enough that I'm just going to talk about them. There are other games I did not list, and that's pretty much all like watch games, because there's like, you know, Zelda like Game & Watch. There's like a
Game
Zelda
Watch, LCD games.
Yeah, LCD games. There's a literal game that is on a watch, but it's not a Game & Watch. It's like that they released like a long time ago, and those I'm not talking about. But I did find interesting on the Satellaview, which was the Super Nintendo's like online service. We have BS Zelda no Densetsu and BS Zelda no Densetsu Inishi no Sekiban, which the first one, the one that didn't have the longer name, had 2 broadcasts in August 6th, 1995 and December 30th, 1995. And the other game was March 30th, 1997, which was actually after a broadcast of the first game. These games were like live broadcasts. They actually had like voiceover narration during them. In the first one, at least, since there was multiple broadcasts, they had progress that could be taken forward into the following broadcast that could be saved. So I just thought that was really cool. They had like a popular radio station in Japan, like have people like do the voice work for like the narration and stuff like that. You played as like your own like OC for instead of like Zelda or Link or somebody. You played as just like a generic character and went through, but it was stylized like a typical Zelda game that came out at the time. So like it was like your Link
to the Past.
Yeah, specifically. So I thought that was really fucking cool. So I just wanted to bring up this game in case anybody hasn't heard of it. It's been covered here and there by some YouTubers, but I think that more people should look into BS Zelda no Densetsu, because it's kind of interesting.
I do think we might have mentioned it in the first podcast when we were talking about Link to the Past.
Maybe.
I probably mentioned it because I know of these games. Unfortunately, I have not gotten a chance to play them because the nature of their existence is a little bit harder to play. But I believe we have a local person who likes to put games on cartridges that might not normally exist, and I know he's had like some of the BS Zelda games, the Satellaview games. So at some point, I need to like go out of the way and like buy. You
should ask that person if they can put Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit on one to play.
I mean, I could. We'll see. I know he does do like he has like Mother 3 carts with like the fan
nice
and stuff. So yeah, there's some cool stuff. But I think it's a wild concept that at one point, like in the 90s, you could just like sit down and tune into your local video game console and play a storyline of Zelda.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear, when they did this live broadcast, like the voice lines that they did were not pre-recorded and then played over. Like they had somebody speaking as the game was running. So like this was not one of those things where it was like it was like a stream. Like it was like they were literally broadcasting it to you and you were taking part in a live show sort of thing. So it's pretty cool. Jack, did you have anything you wanted to add about these games? You interested in them based on what we've said?
It sounds interesting. I don't know much about them, honestly.
Right.
I'm not.
There's like one
super familiar.
that is basically a retelling of Link to the Past, and I think there's one that's a retelling of Zelda 1, if I remember right. And then there's like a more like unique like story. I think there was like 3 of them total.
Gotcha.
There's 2. There's 2. Maybe the second one they went back and did the Zelda 1 thing, because I'm pretty sure that the first one that they did was the Link to the Past one, but I don't remember exactly. But we're gonna move on. The next game is very interesting for one specific reason, and that is there might have been intention to bring this game over to North America, but apparently North Americans said no. This is Freshly Picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. We're skipping ahead 10 years to the DS. This was released in PAL territories on the Nintendo DS, September 14th, 2007. PAL territories, namely, you had UK, Ireland, you had Italy, Germany, maybe a couple other countries. But it is an RPG featuring Tingle, and it skipped over North America, so it was only released in Japan and PAL. And Tingle can hire bodyguards to aid him in combat, which I found kind of interesting. But I think I think if you polled people now, maybe we would have gotten this game. But back in 2007, Americans were like, no, we don't want a Tingle game, so we did not get the Tingle game.
I remember reading about this game in magazines and thinking that it made sense that only Japan got it.
Well, no, because
like,
PAL got it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, well, yeah, true. But like, I remember just seeing it and just thinking yeah, I don't know, that makes sense.
Yeah, it is a very wacky game. Like, it's.
I would play it. I should just emulate it, honestly.
I mean, it is in English. It was released in the UK, so it is in English. You can easily understand this game if you decide to emulate it, which is
next stream title.
Next, there it is. We already got it. We're looking forward to it, Jack. Let's get it going.
Okay,
Landon, how do you feel about Freshly Picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land? Do you like the name? I think it's a nice name.
I do like the
Freshly
name.
Picked.
I today would definitely go out of my way to play this game, but I also wonder, is probably a smart thing that it never came out here.
Yeah, the late 2000s were a busy time for the DS anyway. 2007 was a big year for the DS as is, so I think we were fine with
shortage of games.
I think we were fine without it at the time.
Yeah.
But nowadays it'd be cool to play it, probably. There was another Tingle game though. This one was exclusive to Japan, released on the DS. It was actually earlier in the year than the date that I mentioned before because I used the PAL region date, but it did come after Freshly Picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. You had Tingle's Balloon Fight DS, and yes, as the name implies, it is a reskin remake of Balloon Fight where it features Tingle. But here's the fun fact. It was exclusive to the Club Nintendo service, so you had to get it through Club Nintendo in order to play it. It came out April 12th, 2007 in Japan, by the way. The other game came out late 2006 in Japan. I forgot to put the date down, but yeah, if you lived in Japan and you had Club Nintendo, you could get a Balloon Fight Tingle game. How's that sound? That sound good?
I mean,
yeah. Sure.
It'd be more interesting to look at than Balloon Fight.
Yeah. Marginally so, but yeah.
I put this note in my document after the following game, but it actually pertains to the previous two games that we just talked about, so I'm just going to say it now. But that was not the only Tingle game. Those weren't the only Tingle games that came out. There was a sequel to Rosy Rupee Land in 2009, but that also never left Japan. So that's another Japan-only one. So unfortunately, there was only one that came out in English. I'm surprised that even one came out in English at all. I'm very surprised that this game got a sequel, but it did.
Yeah.
Tingle's a weird dude, and I guess Japanese people
sure
like
is.
him enough.
They sure do.
Let's talk about the first major spin-off that I think North Americans probably know.
Before we do that, I was double checking why I was thinking one was based off of the original Zelda, and that's
Of the Densetsu.
BS Densetsu, yeah. So the first one, it's essentially a retelling of A Link to the Past through the 4 episodes that aired, but the map is based off of
Zelda 1.
Based off of Zelda 1.
That's
and they did a map 2 broadcast, which was essentially the map 2 version of Zelda 1. And then there was the BS Zelda no Densu the longer titled one,
The
which is
Sekiban?
more of a it's more of a remake of A Link to the Past, which is where I'm like, one of them's like Zelda 1 because there's that. And then there was a third one. It just wasn't like part of the BS Zelda franchise, but it was a Zelda no Densu Kamigami no Triforce. And it did not use like the avatars as like the main character, but it used Zelda as the actual main character.
Okay.
And that one was also like a ported version of A Link to the Past. Yeah.
But let's jump into the first big game that we can actually spend some time on. You had Link's Crossbow Training. That was released in North America for the Wii on November 19th, 2007. So about a year after the Wii's release. And came released right alongside the packed-in Wii Zapper, which is a peripheral where you would put the Wii remote and nunchuck into this molded casing, and you'd use it like a gun. Well, more like a crossbow, obviously, but you would aim it at the screen and you'd shoot targets with it.
I do still have one. I think it's probably like in a storage container in my garage, but I did have this game like shortly after it came out. I didn't know about it until I saw my friend playing it actually, and I'm like, that looks so cool. What the fuck? And then I want one.
I don't know why this
Wii Zapper.
I don't know why this didn't come out closer to the Wii's launch. I feel like this game could have popped off if it was like, even if it wasn't like released on launch day, since Twilight Princess also came out already. But like if it came out like early 2007, I feel like this would have like slapped a bit harder. But
I feel like
honestly, I think it's probably just because there just never was a good moment for this game until late 2007. Because early 2007 you had Mario Galaxy, so. I guess.
Mario Galaxy came out in November of 2007.
Oh, it did it?
The same month as this. Yeah.
Then why didn't this come out? I thought that Mario Galaxy 1 came out in early 2007. Why didn't this game come out in early 2007 though? I don't know.
Because Nintendo were cowards.
They were cowards.
True.
They sent this game out to die. But I've never played this game. I've heard fun things. I know that Landon, I'm pretty sure I remember hearing you talking about it as you were playing through it one day many years ago.
I did that, and then I also recently rebooted up the game and attempted to play it, but it turns out it's really, really, really hard to play when you have a living room full of junk because you have 2 one-year-old children that just have stuff.
You got to tie that in. You got to tie that into your stories.
I do. And so it I really attempted to try. Like, I played through the first 3 levels, and I was able to get the medal, like the bronze medal, like the very first medal for the first 2 levels, but I couldn't do it on the third because there's like nothing to like cheese. Like, it was like really hard because so the game, I'll explain it that way Jack can talk about all of his personal feelings. It's set up in you have multiple like mini like acts essentially. Like, here's a small like shoot all of these targets in this, and then you score based off of how well you do. The more direct bullseyes you do, you get points, and then you get a multiplier based off of how many direct hits you have consecutively. So if you hit 3 things in a row, you get like a ×1, ×2, then a ×3. And so that carries forward as you continue to like consecutively hit targets. And so like the first one has like the opening town in Zelda Twilight Princess, and you can like shoot a bunch of targets, and then it goes to like killing a I'm blanking on what the second map is. Oh, it's you got like skeleton warriors rushing after you, and you have to like swivel around in a circle and like murder them all. And you get like a machine gun upgrade at one point to like mow down the big guys. And then the third one, which is probably the most interesting like type map, where you are actually in like an enemy camp, and you have to go down and hunt them within a time limit. So you have like 25 enemies you have to like murder. But your score carries through as you like complete these mini acts in each level, and you have like a score requirement at the end you have to hit. to like get a medal.
So there are 9 total playable levels in this game, and there are 3 sets of 3. And like Landon described, like each act
that was so much more concise.
Is a different gameplay style. Like the first act is where you're standing still and you're doing just target shooting. The second act is where you're in one spot, but you're in like a 3D space and you can like move around, but you're stationary and you have enemies coming at you and you have to shoot them before they get you. And then the third kind is like you're moving around like in a 3D space and also like aiming and shooting down enemies. And there's, like I said, 3 types of each level in the game. It's pretty short. It's only, like, you could beat it probably in, like, an hour. But it's pretty fun. I genuinely enjoy this game. It's not amazing or anything, but it's a pretty cool, like, attachment game to come with the Wii Zapper, which is a very cool accessory.
There's also some like bonus hidden levels that you can unlock. I was looking into, like, if you do certain things in certain levels, you can like unlock like a hidden level, which is like wild.
Yeah,
there is some depth to this welcome tour.
Yeah, it basically. How long to beat says the main story, like if you're just playing through the game, 1 hour. But if you're going for everything and finding all the secrets, 4.5 hours.
So what you're saying is I should hunt myself down a copy of this game and a Wii Zapper and play this game in a quick play session.
Genuinely, yes, but only if you can also get the Wii Zapper, because I feel like it's kind of like integral to the experience. Because I remember I had a friend, the first time I played this game, like the same friend that I mentioned earlier, he had 2 Wii Zappers. And so he had 2 copies of this game. And so I was like, can I have one? And he was like, sure. But I didn't have a Wii Zapper yet. So I was playing this game with just the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, and I was like, it's okay. And then I think it was my birthday that year when I got a Wii Zapper and another copy of this game. So I played it again, and it's honestly a lot more fun with the Wii Zapper itself.
It's the plastic. It gives you the placebo effects of holding the actual thing.
Genuinely, though, like, it's cool. It's cool to hold because...
But I'm sure that, like, I mean, it does have... It does make sure that you're holding it exactly as you're supposed to. And
it's, like, the game is built around it, which is why I say that it's like, I feel like it's necessary to the experience.
There are multiple games that take that make use of the Wii Zapper too over time, and not even just like Nintendo specific games. Like, you can make use of the Wii Zapper for like, not like a huge amount, but there's like quite a few like shooters on the Wii that you can use it for.
Shout out to the Conduit.
Yep. That was one that I was thinking about.
And also...
The Conduit 2.
The Conduit 2. Fucking Sin and Punishment 2.
Yep. So it's...
And Nerf and Strike.
Well, I think
can't forget about that game.
Some of the Nerf games come with their own...
they come with their own like cheapo like knockoff versions.
I also had one of those.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
It also functions as an actual Nerf gun, so
that's pretty cool.
You just have to like pop off the top part.
I think I remember one of my friends having that. Like, I know that my friend had Link's crossbow training, but I think one of my friends also had the Nerf one as well. So that's pretty interesting. But Link's crossbow training is a fascinating case study, and it is very weird that it was the first official spin-off that we got in North America. Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's move on though. We got the first of a big trilogy of spin-offs. We've got Hyrule Warriors, which is a game that came out not once, not twice, but thrice. You had the original Wii. Yeah, Landon's got all 3 of them. He's got his Wii U copy. He's got his other copy that I'm hoping that he'll put, there we go, his 3DS copy. That one was Hyrule Warriors Legends, And then you had the Switch copy. You got Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. The Wii U version came out in North America on September 26th, 2014. The 3DS version... Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Because I had it digitally downloaded. And
that's right.
For like $10.
So
and I was like,
that makes sense.
I'll buy that for $10.
The 3DS version came out in North America on March 25th, 2016 as Hyrule Warriors Legends, as I mentioned. And fun fact, I didn't see it until I did the research. I thought this was one of the new 3DS games. It's not. You can actually just play it on normal 3DS. Very interesting.
That's the issue. This should have been a new
3DS game because
it's
we'll get
crazy that it wasn't.
We'll get to it because I think this is going to be the longest game that we talk about because of the 3 versions. And then the Switch game came out in North America on May 18th, 2018. So these games came out about like 2 years apart each time, 1.5 to 2 years apart each time. So we had
side tangent really quick since we talked about it. You know what game was a new 3DS exclusive?
Fire Emblem Warriors.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
The other Nintendo IP Warriors game on the 3DS.
Yeah. This is also sealed.
Completely forgot. That's funny.
Like why? All right, let's talk about it. So Hyrule Warriors is a game that is Dynasty Warriors in gameplay style for the most part. It has your hack and slash combat against hordes of enemies, but it does have a Zelda style to it where you'll be doing like puzzle solving and discovering stuff on the map in order to unlock different areas. So it does have that sort of thing. There's tons and tons of playable characters in this specific entry. This one is different from the other 2 in the series because it has its own story and it pulls characters from like all over the fucking place, which I think is really cool. Let's get into it. Hyrule Warriors. If there was a Hyrule Warriors game that I wanted to like pick up and start playing, I only played a little bit of this one, but I would want to get the Switch version, Definitive Edition, and play it again because it's just really cool. They have like characters from all over the damn place in the series.
It's a wonderful package. I mean, even like the base Wii U version, which had a little bit of performance.
That's the one that I played, and I thought it was fine. Yeah.
There is so much fucking content already in the base game before the season pass because it's a techno game.
Not famously, but in 2014, I sold my soul to Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U.
It's true.
Because there is so much content in that game, I knew I would be playing it for the rest of my life. And I played it for like a year.
Yeah. I mean, that's a year longer than he needed to play it, honestly, because there's a main story campaign which is like pretty short. It's like 25 missions, maybe 20 missions. I don't know.
Let's
look it up.
Find out.
And that's where you get introduced to like the unique plot to the game and stuff. But then there's like the side content. Where like you are unlocking a lot of like the characters in the game, and it's set up with different maps that you go through, and like the main one that I always think of is based off of the original Zelda map, and each tile like is a mission that you have to complete, and depending on your rank you can move forward, you can unlock certain new characters or new weapon types for characters.
I do remember that.
24, by the way.
24. I was right there. I was right. It was like 20 to
I would
25.
I would like to read how long this game takes to beat on how long to beat. Main story, 13 hours. Main plus sides, 39 hours. Completionist, 222 hours.
Oh my god. That's Dragon Quest 9.
Is that this version?
That's the Wii U version?
Yeah, that is the main base version.
No.
If you want Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch family of entertainment systems, it is 16.5, 36, and 362.
Jesus.
Because they did not one season pass, but 2 season passes.
2.
Because when they released the Legends version, they're like, all right, we see you. You played this on the Wii U, and you just wanted it as a portable experience. Guess what? You can have all of that content, including the season pass for the Wii U version. But guess what? We want more money. We're going to release a second season pass with more content.
And then they put all of that on the Switch version after.
Yeah.
So it just compounded onto
362
itself.
hours.
So, I mean, you can even, like, see from, like, the box art, they, like, pull from some fucking characters. Because they have, like, Nega Link. They've got Nega Ganon.
Yep.
From Link, A Link Between Worlds.
There's Impa. There's Tetra. There's Linkle. They literally just put Linkle. They just put female Link in the game. You can play as female Link if you want.
Linkle, original character
Midna.
to Hyrule Warriors.
Yep. Linkle and Lana are original characters to the game. And it's really cool.
This game is also quite quotable. We do a lot of like little bits that come from this game.
Just every time there's like a new objective on the map.
It's great.
So, I do, like, as someone who has played all versions of this game, and then 2, all of the
Hyrule Warriors
games, I can say this one has probably the biggest appeal to any casual fan. Of the series as a large. If you are a more hyper-specific fan to the new Zelda
Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, then the other two would be...
You will get, like, more out of those, but if you are just like a more, like, baseline, I like Zelda, then this is definitely, especially, like Cloud was saying, the Switch version, because it has all the content right there for you. Like, it's an insane package.
And of course, it is great to play multiplayer. It's fun to play by yourself, but it's great to play multiplayer, as all Warriors games typically are. Like, you can just get a friend, just be like, hey, do you like Zelda at all? And if they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Like, you will have a good time playing this game. It's good that this game got a Switch version, because as Warriors games typically go, they typically don't run very well. So getting the best version as far as they can get the performance to run is always nice, even if it's still not perfect, which is why it's very weird that they put Hyrule Warriors Legends on the base 3DS. I know why they did it. It's because that would give them the widest net of people to buy the game, and they probably wanted this game to sell well. So they were like, let's put it on the base 3DS so that we can try to get to the 50 million plus install base that we had at the time, I'm guessing. But at the same time, it's like, you compromised your game by doing this, clearly, because the new 3DS is more powerful than the base model. So
it's, as someone who played it on a new 3DS system, playable. That's my praise for it. It's wicked cool that they got like a full-on Warriors game to work on the 3DS. I know there's like other Warriors games for the 3DS, but like it's crazy that it like, even runs. It's a fun version. Definitely, though, not the one I would recommend.
Yeah, true. No. If you're gonna get this game, you got Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. There's 155 million Switch units out there. That one of those will play Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition just fine, unless it's been thrown in a dumpster and been smashed with a hammer. You'll be fine. Just play it on one of those. Let's move on to the next game. We actually got a couple games in between before we get to the next Hyrule Warriors. There was a Picross game. You had My Nintendo Picross, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and Twilight Princess released on 3DS in North America on March 31st, 2016. Why is this Twilight Princess, first of all? That's weird.
When did Twilight HD come out?
Oh, you know what? That's true.
There you go.
It might be.
Yeah, there you go.
You would still think though anyway, we'll get into it. But it's a Picross game based on the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Picross being a nonogram puzzle game. So if you've ever played Picross, you got a Twilight Princess themed one. And just like a previous entry, this was only available through a loyalty program. This one, My Nintendo. So if you wanted this, you had to have the My Nintendo program in order to get it. So yeah, I guess I understand why it's Twilight Princess in that regard, but at the same time, I don't know why they would just put that on Wii U and put one that's more pertinent to the 3DS games that they had on the 3DS, because they had options. They had Ocarina of Time 3D, they had Majora's Mask 3D had come out by this time. They had Link Between Worlds, a brand new 3DS Zelda game, and they were just like, nah, none of those. Twilight Princess, man. Twilight Princess.
There's definitely things I would do way different if I was in charge of like a Picross like Zelda game. But for what it is, it's Picross, and like I do own this. So yeah.
Have you played this?
I have.
I'm guessing it's short, right?
I mean, however
It's
long it takes you to complete Picross.
Yeah.
I think is it 100? Like, there's quite a few like puzzles in it. It's not
okay.
It's not like
so it's not like just a
5 or
handful of
10.
puzzles and they just called it a day. Like there's actually a lot of them.
There's quite a few.
Okay.
And they get like some of like the large puzzles like that they like to do, where it's like a bajillion like spots to fill out. So
Gotcha.
For what it is, it's
Picross.
It's Picross. So if you like that, then it's cool.
Nintendo is no stranger to Picross games, by the way. Like they've done a lot of Picross games.
Yeah.
If
I was in charge, I would do like OG Zeldas, like any of the games with like the sprites as like the default, like we'll like the Picross like puzzle is to make the sprite.
That would make sense.
And then like work your way up, like pick a couple characters
with complexity. Yeah.
Up through like to like newer games. Not that Twilight Princess doesn't work, but it's like there's definitely like more things I would think of first.
It's like they could have chosen a lot of different games before they did a Twilight Princess one. It's kind of like how Sony put a lot of weird choices on their PlayStation Classic. If you have a Patreon membership for the Gaming Stooges account, we had a really cool PlayStation Classic episode last month, by the way. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. We had Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer, featuring The Legend of Zelda. That is the full name. It was released in North America for the Nintendo Switch on June 13th, 2019. And if you don't know, Crypt of the Necrodancer is a little indie rhythm roguelike game. And this is a crossover between Legend of Zelda and that. So if you happen to like the Legend of Zelda music, and you like the Crypt of the Necrodancer style of game, because it's spurred a whole like little subgenre in its own, and you were thinking, hey, maybe that'd be cool if they did a game that crossed those two things over. First of all, what the fuck are you on? Because I don't know. I think that'd be like the 152nd thing I would think about for a game. But also, there is a game for you. So they did do that. How is it, Landon? Landon?
Lennon, your mic is muted.
I appreciate its existence. You definitely have to be into rogue lights or roguelikes. This is a roguelite, technically. To really get into it. I played a bit of it. I think I played like somewhere in the ballpark of 5 to 10 hours. So like I spent time in the game. But it's definitely not.
I feel like a rhythm Zelda game is overdue, but I'm not sure why this had to be like the first one we would get for that sort of thing.
I'm not against the Crypt of the Necrodancer type gameplay either. Like I've also played like Crypt of the Necrodancer, but like I played probably about like an equivalent amount before I was like, okay, this is neat, and stopped playing. It is the cool thing about Cadence of Hyrule is,
and you love indie rhythm games.
I do love certain indie rhythm games by a different company than this, but
several different companies.
A handful, a small amount. Probably.
I'm gonna say I'm thinking of quite a lot of games right now off the top of my head.
Yeah, but you get Link, Zelda, and then the Crypt of the Necrodancer's playable original character whose name I forget off the top of my head, as the playable characters, which is it gives you some and each one plays a little bit different, which is cool. And then I think the other issue I have with it is it's a Link to the Past essentially. So if you love a Link to the Past,
they don't really cover a wider net of Zelda in order to really
it's pretty much the A Link to the Past map is essentially what you're running through.
Damn.
Which is, it's not a bad thing. It's what it is. Overall, I mean, the thing is, you were saying, Zelda, a Zelda rhythm game is right there, because how iconic are a lot of Zelda tunes?
A lot. I mean, and not just thinking about it from just the iconic Zelda tunes is you've had a little teaser of that sort of thing with Ocarina of Time. You play the melodies so you start playing notes from the different songs, and there's been different Zelda games where there was a musical instrument at the forefront of the game multiple times. So it's a rhythm Zelda game really is something that they could just make, and instead we just got a crossover with Crypt of the Necrodancer.
They did make a Zelda rhythm game. It was just called Wii Music.
Fuck. Don't you dare do this. Don't you dare do this.
I did it.
Damn.
Don't insult Zelda with this. Oh, God. All right. Well, I'm a little traumatized, so I'm going to move past this. There's Hyrule Warriors. We're going to go back to that. Landon alluded to these games earlier. We have Age of Calamity is the first one. Came out in North America for the Nintendo Switch on November 20th, 2020, in the COVID year. It is a follow-up to Hyrule Warriors, obviously, but it is separate from the original Hyrule Warriors because it is set in Breath of the Wild's timeline, and it is an alternate telling of the time before the events of that game. It also got its own expansion pass, by the way. You had 2 waves of that. There was Pulse of the Ancients and Guardian of Remembrance in June and October 2021, respectively. But this is I tried to look into it, and I don't know the canonicity of this game. It's definitely not fully canon. At most, it's dubious as to whether to consider any of the events that happen here actually part of the Breath of the Wild timeline. But it is a Breath of the Wild style, specifically Hyrule Warriors game, which is in turn Dynasty Warriors. So if you specifically wanted to play a Breath of the Wild Dynasty Warriors, here you go. I say that a lot. Here you go.
I'm trying to remember, because I played this game when it came out. Was it set before the request? Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah, it is an alternate timeline from what I read. So it's not the exact event. It's not the exact leading into Breath of the Wild. It's an alternate thing. But yeah, it is pre Breath of the Wild. That much I know for sure from my research. I don't know anything else besides that.
Yeah, I guess I forgot. Because it literally has the champions on there that are dead.
And
so
I was gonna say, I think that's one of the big draws of Age of Calamity is the fact that the champions who don't really have a direct presence in Breath of the Wild, because the fact that they're alive in order and able to be played as characters in this game is pretty cool.
It's the one thing that really stands out to me that I remember from playing it is it's very like it's very stylized specifically towards Breath of the Wild. Because it uses the same like map and like the icon and all the music and everything. So like,
and doesn't it like take more the enemy mobs after Breath of the Wild 2 more specifically? So like you're not just facing like an assortment of enemies across the Zelda series, like you're pretty much just fighting like the stuff that was in Breath of the Wild. So you got your moblins,
so.
bokoblins and stuff like that.
Yeah. In that art style specifically.
Yeah.
But then also you have a fucking tree that you get to play as with maracas. So take that as you will.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let me find a picture of him because he's fucking bad.
Jack, have you played Age of Calamity?
I have not played either of the sequels. I've only played the original Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U. I never even played the Switch version.
Rip.
So
You're a fraud.
Hey man, I played it on God's favorite console, so I don't know what the issue is. I've heard the sequels are better. I don't know.
I mean, performance-wise,
I haven't heard a lot of people talk about them, if I'm being honest.
I think, like I said it earlier, and it really comes down to like if you like Breath of the Wild, then you will like get a lot out of this. And that's sort of.
I mean, this game made a lot of sense coming out because like Breath of the Wild sold fucking insane. So like cashing in on that with its own dedicated spin-off with building off of Hyrule Warriors existing already and just saying, okay, let's take this game and make a Breath of the Wild version of it. That's like, from a business sense, that is a smart move. But yeah.
Okay, I posted a link to Hetz 2. Hetz 2?
Oh, that him. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That fucker.
Yeah, so he's in the game and is playable.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I knew
that. Is hilarious. I cannot imagine what his battle style must be.
Awesome.
But I will have to look at that.
Style.
Goodness.
They do have, and I think this is where I got confused. You do get access to the new champions from like the current timeline of Breath of the Wild as like playable characters. So I think that's where I was like, what? But I think that was because that was the last thing I remember playing of this game. Is you get like the new age heroes, and there's some like interesting DLC choices as well. There's also a little like robot guardian that's a character.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, who is named. But you also get like, I think, a DLC character. Like you get a full-on guardian as like a DLC character. Pura and Robbie are a DLC character. So like they've got a couple different choices. You get to play as the Great Fairies is technically a character.
Interesting.
They have some choices for some stuff.
They really pulled like everything they could from Breath of the Wild as like options.
Yeah.
All right.
It's fun.
Well, let's talk about the follow-up game to that, and that is the most recent Zelda spin-off. There was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which was released worldwide at the same time on Nintendo Switch 2 exclusively on November 6th, 2025. So a little under 5 years after the last game. And it being a follow-up to Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, this game is set before Tears of the Kingdom, and it's positioned as a prequel to that game, so in between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and it focuses on an event known as the Imprisoning War, which is why the game is called Age of Imprisonment.
I mean, technically, it takes place before all of it, because timeline-wise, it's
a prequel.
It takes place when, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played Tears of the Kingdom, but why are you listening to this podcast? It takes place when Zelda goes back to the past.
Yeah.
Like, in that. So it's in the first kingdom of Hyrule in this timeline of the Hyrule So yeah, it's like even before Age of Calamity technically. So real far back.
Well, I'm mostly meaning like if like you were to play, if you wanted to play them in like an order that made sense, like this would still make sense to play like.
It would make sense to play this after you played Tears of the Kingdom, and also after you played, honestly, Age of Calamity.
Yeah.
No. Anyway.
Damn, you just tossed that shit.
Goodbye.
I mean, I very much recently played this.
You did?
Because it recently came out.
Yeah,
so.
it just came out last year.
Year old.
Did you talked a little bit about this during our 2025 podcast, but
a little bit, but then
I believe you were playing quite a bit of it
after.
After. So, is there anything you wanted to talk about, considering you have a more complete playthrough in your head to really go off of?
So mechanically, the game is like pretty fun because you get like sync combos that you can do with like the different characters that there is, and there is a lot of characters that are in this, because you get Zelda, you get Raru, and then like all of the Guardians from like the past in Tears of the Kingdom. So you get Minoru as well as a playable character, and then you get like rando generals from each of like the races. So you get like 2 more playable characters from like Hylians, from the
Gorons, Zoras.
Yeah, the Goron. Like, so you get like, there's like a good number of playable characters, and then there's also this game has its Link stand-in, which is just a construct that just like plays like Link would in a game, but it's not Link. Distinctly not Link, because he can't be in this game.
No.
But they try to explain why it's there, because a shard of the Master Sword fell back with Zelda and oops-a-daisied somehow into this construct, and so it's the living embodiment of the Master Sword.
They pulled something out of their ass to make enough sense to make it work.
They did. So, like, the other game, like this game, I think this game fits more into being like, this could have happened, because they keep like all the Guardians beat up like Ganon at the end, and that's all that really matters.
So they keep it consistent enough where like you could argue that this is canon to the timeline, but it's...
Anyway, this is a tangent off of a tangent. Back to what I was saying, mechanics wise, you get a couple different like options that are not in the other ones, like the sync ability, which is like probably the biggest. Oh, and then you can like essentially like stun break or guard break people. So like if an enemy does a certain action, you have like a pool of actions you can do from like the different like both fusion attacks and just like some different like actions that can like stun an enemy, and so that way you can start doing like combo damage to them. Which are actually pretty fun. And because you get all these other characters, you can like switch between them to do certain actions. It does a lot of like stuff with the Zonai devices. That's what I was thinking of. So like you can get the fire hydrant Zonai device and use that on sludge enemies, which is fun. You can just carry around a fire hydrant and like use that as that's a winnable tactic.
Hell yeah.
There's crafting, and like the whole like the map once again is like the Tears of the Kingdom map, so like it has all of that. It even has like the sky, and it has the underground. So it does that. Yeah, it's about like lengthwise and like content wise about the same as Age of Calamity.
K-De Potato, you are joining at the perfect time because we are almost at the end of talking about the actual Zelda spin-off games.
Yeah.
But I do have a few questions for these guys relating to this podcast topic that we can get to after an intermission. So
yeah. Overall, I had a pretty solid time with Age of Calamity.
Age of Imprisonment
is fun.
Age of Imprisonment.
Whichever one we're talking about, they're
the
almost
second
the same
one
thing.
of the
They're almost the same thing.
They're almost
yes.
the same
Age
thing.
of Imprisonment, I thought was good. It was enjoyable. Yeah, I would say if you have a Switch 2 and you have already played 300 hours of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, and you're like, I could go for another 50.
Play Tears of the
This is
Kingdom
not a-
first, and then if you're looking for another 50-hour game, then play this game.
Spending only 50 hours in Tears of the Kingdom? Wow.
I'm
You spend
selling it
on
a little
that.
short.
Yeah. But it's fun.
All right. And to answer your question, we did not talk about Soul Calibur because even though that does have Link in it, that is not actually a Zelda spinoff, so we did not mention it.
So, and that's something I was thinking of when we were like doing this. Is there is I do like Soul Calibur, GameCube, but like there's like Mario Kart 8 has like Zelda content.
There's Mario Kart 8. Obviously, there's Smash Brothers. There's
Animal Crossing
has some Zelda themed stuff. So like,
and
it's not
Zelda
like
characters.
Yeah, so it's not like Zelda just has spin-offs and then has no like tie-ins in other games. But like there's a lot of those, but that would be its own thing. Before we get to a few questions that I came up with literally during the course of this podcast, so I don't actually have them written down. Jack, could you do the honors and give us our little intermission? The 2 gold stooges are the same as always, by the way.
I think I should just be the guy that does this.
You really are the guy. You are him. You do this.
I am him. Anyway, hi everybody. It's Jack from the Gaming Stooges. It is time for me to tell you about our Patreon. On Patreon, we have exclusive content, monthly videos that we upload only on Patreon. Some of them eventually come to YouTube, but for the most part, they are just for the patrons. We have 2 payment tiers. We have the Silver and Gold Stooge tiers. One is the Silver Stooge tier. You get access to all of the videos, as well as voting powers on future content that you might see, including podcast topics, as well as potential future stream titles. At the Gold Stooge tier, you get all of that, plus a personal shout-out from us. Shout out to Al and Pixel, who are our gold tier stooges. So thank you. As for streams right now, I am finishing up
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon
Rescue Team.
Yeah.
I'm just about, I'm probably going to do one more stream tomorrow, but like for the most part, I don't really have too strong of an interest in continuing the post game. I already beat Kyogre, so I'm just like, well, I know there's a lot more I could do, but honestly, the post game for Rescue Team is a bit
that
of a
is
grind.
a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't want to be playing this for the rest of the year. I want to move on to other stuff.
You want to live your life.
Cloud, you are playing
Final Fantasy
VII. How far are you into that?
I am pretty deep into what was disc 1 of the original game. We just got Yuffie as a party member. We are headed to Gungaga after the whole Junin arc, so it's starting to really pick up now, and we will be probably getting I want to say we still have a few more streams before we wrap up like the first like big act of the game, but like we're getting pretty close, so like we've already made quite a lot of progress. About I think 12 or so hours into the game, so that's been quite a lot of fun. Landon, who is still not returned yet, did you already mention what he's been playing? Not yet.
No, Landon.
He just wrapped up the main story of Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Bride.
Oh wait, he's done?
The main story. He said he was maybe going to play the post-game story dungeon, but he has not locked that in yet. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But he did.
I'm gonna have to ask Landon about that because I've already scheduled the most recent Dragon Quest V stream to upload, and I did not include finale in the thumbnail. So
that is his fault. He is I mean,
I'll
if
have to-
if
I'll
anything,
have to ask
you
him.
put up the initial thumbnail, and then if he says that that's the end, you make a new one. You just type up finale and then slap it on. You could always just fix it
True.
later. So, but yeah.
True.
Speaking of which, here he is, Landon. Before you even talk about anything Tillamook related, we have a question for you that's very important. Jack, would you like to ask him?
Are you done with Dragon Quest V, or are you going to do like one more stream or like another stream?
Because he needs to know for the thumbnail.
Oh.
Yeah. Should I call the most recent stream a finale?
Or would you like to do or are you going to do post game?
Should I just leave it open and you can come back to it later?
Landon's so
do
lost.
more. I'll do
All
more.
right.
Okay.
All right, there you have it, folks.
He'll do more.
I hadn't
Cool.
decided, and I still don't want to be decided. But I suppose if you're making a
Okay.
thumbnail,
That is true.
Well, I gotta schedule all the VODs.
I mean, you can call it the finale because it's where I beat the final boss. Everything else would be post.
True.
Yeah, but didn't you put the finale, Jack, the finale VOD for 4 as when he like did the post game thing? So I mean,
yeah,
I would
sure.
just to stay consistent,
I mean, it doesn't matter that much.
Gotta be
Anyway,
consistent.
we have a pretty good question in the chat. Will you do more ice cream? Son of a bitch, I got Oregon strawberry. There you go. I will do more ice cream.
He always does his ice cream.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I have a couple of questions pertaining to Zelda spin-offs. Firstly, is there I mean, we've already kind of like touched on it previously, but is there a genre that you would like to see a Zelda spin-off tackle? You can give multiple answers to this. Personally, I would say that aside from a dedicated rhythm game, I think it would be really cool to have a like, I know that Link was in Soul Calibur too, but I think it'd be really cool if there was just a dedicated 2D Zelda fighting game. Like, I feel like you could do something like that.
Yeah.
There's just
Absolutely.
there's just a lot of characters that you could do that with.
Here's a no-brainer idea. Why the fuck haven't they made a rhythm game with an ocarina peripheral? That's like, just make it like Guitar Hero. You could just make it like, you know, the note highway where like the notes slide down and you got to hit them in time, but it's like, you could do that. You could super easily do
I'm
that.
already imagining a game where like you have Link playing the ocarina and like the notes coming from different directions into the center of the screen towards the holes
works
of the
too.
ocarina, and like that symbolizes where you're supposed to press them down. Like
That works too.
that I don't know.
Do it however you want. I just think that is Nintendo. Come on.
And they could sell a
It's right
peripheral.
there.
They love selling peripherals, guys.
Yes, exactly. Like, have a fucking like ocarina that you play and have buttons that you need to press and maybe blow into it. I don't know. That's how you play an ocarina. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So, do it.
Any
Nintendo, come on.
any other ideas, Jack?
Honestly, a Zelda strategy RPG, I think, would be a good idea. Like, have maybe like you play as Zelda and you're like commanding your army to defend from Ganon and his minions.
You could basically do an Advance Wars style.
Yeah, I was gonna say
kind of
maybe not like a
units.
specifically an RPG strategy game, but like a strategy game in the vein of
that-
Advance Wars would be like pretty sick.
I mean,
That too.
You could also, because depending on where you set it, like if they did like a Tears of the Kingdom style one, like they fucking made up a bunch of
you could have
yahoos.
one of the. I was gonna say you
So-
could have one of the champions as like your commander. You could have Link as a commander if you wanted. Like there'd be
Exactly.
options.
So like
Yeah.
it's like it could go either way, to where you have like a more Advance Wars versus more like Fire Emblem like style.
I feel like Zelda has more than enough characters that they could do like a Fire Emblem style
They could.
strategy.
Yeah, it just kind of depends
RPG.
on how like weird they want to get as far as crossover story goes.
just make it like Hyrule Warriors. Like, who gives a shit about the story as long as the gameplay is fun?
It would be the Fire Emblem Fates of Zelda.
It's not like it's not like it's gonna be canon.
I think if they did like a strategy RPG
Or Fire Emblem Engage, not Fates.
A cool way to go about it would actually be like Project Cross Zone, where you have like linked characters like in sets of 2 that do combo attacks. So you could have like Link and Zelda are like a unit, and like they like, depending on which options you choose, you can like do different combo attacks. So you could have like honestly like anyone from throughout the series like comboed up. But then also that story like line can get really fucking crazy. So
what about other genres to tackle, Landon? You got any other ideas that you'd like them to see?
Rhythm strategy game.
Rhythm strategy game. That sounds very...
Fuck it. Why not? Why not, man?
It's like, it's hard because like my mind's always like, how can we make this a turn-based RPG?
Yeah, and it's like that would work, but I think we could get kind of like interesting with Zelda as far as like spin-off going into weird genres goes. Like
they've done like puzzles. They've done
puzzles. They've done the hack and slash.
Kato Potato says a Zelda roguelike card game. You know, something like it's like Slay the Spire, where it's like the cards are just actions that you do. And you can control like Link.
You could use like different like gadgets and like different like stuff that he's used over the series.
Yeah, but you could also have, because you could do like multiple characters like Slay the Spire, where you have like Zelda, Link, I mean, depending on how you want to play it, you could even have like a Ganondorf type deck where he has like his own like style of gameplay, and then what would a decent fourth option be? Probably Tingle. Have Tingle as like the fourth party member. So I can see like a Zelda roguelike card game, or like even like a Zelda. I'm trying to think of another. Part of my mind was like, they could do like if they want to go roguelike or roguelite, they could do sort of like Dead Cells, where it's like an action side scroller, but like it's also just Zelda, so there's that.
And I have one other question that I could think of, and I think it might tie into this question. It might tie into stuff we said earlier. But if you could choose for a spin-off to come out in the future to center around a specific side character, who would you want to have a spin-off centered more around? Because there's a lot. Like, you don't have to do the whole, this spin-off has Link, this spin-off has Zelda. Like, there's other options, and I want to hear.
Groose. Give me a Groose game. Call it the Groose is Loose.
The Untitled Groose game?
The Untitled Groose game. Actual answer, though, I think a Midna game would be really cool. Like, she's obviously, like, a fan favorite character, even though she's only appeared in Twilight Princess and Hyrule Warriors. But, like, I think that sounds like a good idea. It would sell well. Like, it doesn't even have to be like super in-depth or anything, but like a Midna spinoff would do well, I think.
Kata Potato brings out a good point.
On her backstory.
Kata Potato says an Epona game, Epona horse racing game. Let's go.
It's just,
where you play as Epona.
It's just
Cash.
Yeah. But it's Epona.
But I think that'd be pretty cool. Any other games for specific side characters you could think of, Jack? I mean, you mentioned Groose, you mentioned Midna.
That's all I got.
All the funny characters.
Yeah.
Pixels being mean
Impa?
to Potato.
Impa could have a cool game.
Yeah.
I think. And there's like a lot of different like interpretations of Impa that you could do.
I think that's one I would lean
So,
on, probably.
That would be cool.
Landon's got a taco, and I'm fucking pissed. I want a taco. It's a really juicy taco. That thing is dripping like a motherfucker. But, yeah.
Damn.
Landon, if you are able to, you knew that it was going to be your turn soon.
I know. That's why I took a bite of it.
I want to hear from you, because I actually did not really have an answer for this one myself, but, a spin-off centering around a specific side character. Any ideas? Besides what's already been done.
This is not a specific side character, but this is a race of side characters.
Yeah, could be race.
Specific subset of a race of side characters. I want a Deku Shrub, Sim City style, not Sim City. Yeah, Sim City style, like, development game where you play as Deku Shrubs trying to do, like, business. Like a Racketeer, but it's a Deku Shrub. That's what I want.
Okay.
Final answer, Steve.
Interesting.
Because of the Deku Shrubs in Majora's Mask, where you like have to buy shit from the Deku Shrub merchants.
Okay.
Final answer.
Okay, but what about the Deku Scrubs?
They're looking at each other. They're looking.
Not.
They got eyes.
That's just what they're called.
All right. That's gonna be, unless you guys have any interesting questions, that's gonna be all for the actual topical portion of this episode. So it's been a few weeks. Jack, what have you been up to?
Hello. I'm always put on the spot.
You are always put on the spot because you're first in the rotation.
I'm first in the rotation, and I got to think about when was our last stream, or when was our last podcast. Was it the 25th?
Yes.
Did we podcast on the 25th?
Yes.
That's right. It was the 2012 year in retrospective. Not a lot been going on these past couple weeks. I went to a show last Friday. I went to Detroit to see the Drain No Pressure Haywire tour, and that was a blast. It's at the Russell, where they hold Tied Down every year, and they don't have a barricade, and people be stage diving, and it was fun. Aside from that, I have been playing this game,
Metroid Dread.
Metroid Bread. That's what it's called, Metroid Bread. Really fucking like this game, actually.
I am pissed. I'm still waiting on my copy to come in.
You can't say that.
I can't say that.
You can't. Spoilers. Now he
wants to play it. How dare he?
Rip.
How dare he want to play the game?
I mean, spoilers
like this
as well, but that's the next game that I have to play. So anyway, you can continue talking about Metroid Bread.
I like this game a lot, actually. I'm pretty close to beating it.
Damn.
I talked about this on my my stream last night, but I just got the gravity suit, and I got to a boss. I think it's the boss that Landon was talking about. That is a quote full-time fucker.
Is he? Did I remember right?
I only fought him for like a couple of attempts because I was playing it the other night and it was like late at night, and I'm like, I don't know if I can beat this before I need to go to bed, so I just went to bed. I have not beaten him yet.
Is it the thing that's in the it's in the side of the?
It's like in the background, and it like swipes at you.
Yeah.
And
is that it?
Yeah, there's a name for him, but I don't want to describe him too much because
I was gonna say I haven't played it yet.
I know, that's why we're trying to be as like.
I'm being extremely. I literally don't even know what its name is. If that helps, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's pretty fuckery so far.
It's a full-time.
Have you played any more Pokemon Ultra Sun?
Not a lot, to be honest.
Darn.
Like a tiny bit.
He's been heads down. He's been trying to truck through this bread.
Yeah, he has.
He's been getting this bread.
I
have been getting this bread. I want to beat this before we talk about it on the Metroid podcast coming up soon.
Yeah,
next month.
Yep.
2 podcasts.
But I'm really enjoying it. I have not been playing too much else, have not been doing too much else. I forget if I've even mentioned this in previous podcasts, but Bethany and I are currently rewatching through Soul Eater, and it's been really fun.
I don't recall you saying that, actually.
He has not mentioned this.
Okay, never mind then. I got her the complete series for Christmas, and we started watching it probably like a month ago, honestly. I forgot to mention it. We're like halfway through it, and it's been really fun. I haven't seen it since I was active on my anime list in high school, so it's been... and I did look back to see, like, did I log this on my anime list back in the day? And I did actually. And it's been good. I've been enjoying it. You
need to get her Bobobo. Why haven't you done that yet?
Dude, you're telling. She loves Bobobo. We gotta watch it together.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I really gotta fucking get that. You know what? I'm gonna tell her to get it for me for my birthday.
I agree. You should tell her to get it for you for your birthday.
I should.
That's everything, Jack?
That's pretty much, yeah.
All right. I've been playing a lot of games, so I have 6 that I'm going to talk about real quick. I'll try to keep them as brief as possible. The first game, more Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. Last time I talked about it a couple weeks ago, I think I was about 15 hours in, and I was like right around the point that I had left off in when I played it on Steam. But now I'm deep into Chapter 6. Like, I am almost done Chapter 6, which means I am very close to the end because there's only one more chapter after that. I'm 55 hours in. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I really like it. There are some aspects that I feel like the plot, or more, not so much the plot, but the dialogue around the plot stretches a little bit too long. It doesn't need to like go on as long as it does. But other than that, it's really great. Like, I love the character interactions, especially. Like, this is probably one of my favorite casts of like playable characters, just in the way that they interact with one another and how connected they are in a pretty good time, pretty good long time.
Just wait until you get to like Cold Steel 4, where they have like, there's like a fuck ton of playable characters, and everyone has to have like a fucking line of dialogue to comment on every goddamn thing that's happening.
Oh God,
yeah,
it's gonna be like
awesome.
It's looking forward to it.
I'm sure Reverie's even worse. Al, comment.
I played through Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards because I never actually finished a playthrough. I got like halfway into one like long time ago, like 15 years ago. And I just had the urge to play some Kirby. So I played Kirby 64 Crystal Shards. That game is... I love that game. Like, when I said way back in our Kirby podcast, based on like the half of the game that I played, or half to 2/3, that it was probably like my 5th favorite Kirby game. I think it probably is 5th or 6th. It depends. But I really like it just because the vibes, the power-up combinations that you can do, the music, just it's good stuff. It's like very like bare bones Kirby in a sense, but it's also just like really well executed. So I had a fun time. It was great. I did everything too. Like, I like, as far as like collecting all the shards, fighting the actual true final boss with 0-2. I played through Metroid Fusion. Like, I played through Super Metroid, the previous podcast, just in time to talk about it. And I just played through Metroid Fusion, like front to back, but in between these two podcasts. I really like the storytelling in this game. Like, the storytelling and how it builds up Samus and the SAX and just the X in general, the X parasites, and just the stuff that's happening to the BSL and her computer assistant that she named Adam, and like some of the plot twists that happen as the game goes along. I love the shit out of Metroid Fusion. I thought it was great. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. Yeah. I do think that as far as like the atmosphere, the sound design is not nearly as good because it's a GBA game. I think like the sound design in Super Metroid is like the best sound design from what I played so far, just of like how they do like sound effects and ambient stuff like that. So, but other than that, I really thought Fusion was incredible. So, I also started playing through, and I'm pretty far into Mini Shoot Adventures on the Switch 2. That is an indie twin stick shooter adventure game. Anybody that knows me my shoot 'em ups, and I thought it was really fucking cool that there's a game that combines that with an adventure, like a top-down adventure. Many people have compared it to Zelda, and I see some of that, but honestly, I'm seeing it's more of like a top-down version of like a Metroidvania, because there's a lot of different places that you can go to, but you need to unlock certain power-ups in order to unlock the ability to travel through certain areas. And so like you will slowly branch out into sections of the map as you gain those new abilities. And it flows in a way that feels much more Metroidvania, because it's like constant upgrades as you progress the game. So like just that kind of feel does feel like that sort of kind of genre. It takes some inspiration from like the bullet hell genre, because you'll have like random enemies that'll like spew all sorts of like fucking bullets at you in patterns that are not unlike your Ikarugas, your Tohos, all that shit. So I've been having a blast with it. It's a lot of fun. And I made Landon in the Discord chat want to play it, and he was like, "Don't say it's good. I want to play it." And
stop that.
Yeah, it's great, but I will say like I know that like you probably would like a physical copy, and it's probably will be handled by Super Rare Games, because it is published by, it's a European made game, a European published game, so they will probably go that route. But it's great. I like it.
Discounted digital release. Probably
I did a very quick playthrough of another shoot 'em up, because I've been in that kind of mode apparently, with Solar Striker on the Game Boy. We talked about this on our Game Boy Classic, and like I played a little bit of it as a teaser for that, and I was like, this seems like a good game. And after I played through it, it's pretty impressive what they did on a Game Boy game back in 1990, 1989 with this game, because it came out like right in the first year of its life. I do wish it had like an alternate attack option, because you literally just have the one laser, and that's pretty much it, and it just upgrades a few times over the course of the game. But you have 6 whole stages with boss fights and everything. Fuck the stage 4 boss. That shit is hard as fuck. And I save stated the shit out of the thing. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna pretend that I did that legit. I fucking just cheesed save states on it. The stage 5 boss was also pretty hard. The final boss honestly was really easy by comparison. I was like, that was it. But it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. And then the last game I started playing, I haven't gotten super far in, is Earthbound Beginnings. I decided to start playing that, and I'm having fun with it so far. I still only have Ninten. I have not gotten anybody else, and he's like almost level 10. And I'm finding it interesting that most of the map that you can travel on is just one seamless map. It is like designed in a way where you have to go down certain paths to get to different areas, but it's literally just like one map, and it's just got everything on it. And I'm kind of impressed that they did that on an NES game, because like that game came out in 1989 and they did that shit. Like that's pretty crazy. So I am interested to see where the game goes from here. But I really hope that I get some more characters soon, because I could use some extra characters. I fought what I think is considered a boss in the Starman Jr. at the zoo, and that shit nearly fucking obliterated me. Like the guide I was following told me that as long as I have the Franklin badge, it can reflect one of the attacks. And that shit was not happening. I don't know what I was doing wrong. That shit was not reflecting anything. And I took like half my health from the PSI beam that it was doing to me. And I was like really sad about that. But other than that, it's a fun time. So yeah,
that guy's stink as hell.
Yeah, it's Earthbound, but not as good. So,
Jack, have you played Earthbound Beginnings?
Sparsely. Not too much of it, though.
I think it's worth a look if you're a fan of Earthbound or Mother 3, but you can definitely see the age. It's an NES game, but it's a good
NES RPG.
It's an NES RPG that holds up surprisingly well for what it is. I will say, like, especially with the way they translated it like fits well enough that like you can kind of get the gist of what you're supposed to do. That's everything for me. Just a bunch of extra games I've been playing. Landon, what have you been up to? You've been playing
you
Final
know,
Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles.
Yeah, I've been playing the Final Fantasy, the Tactics, the Evil East Chronicles for the Nintendo Switch 2 family of the entertainment system. Yeah, what up? I think I just started it when we did the last podcast because I had like just finished Donkey Kong Country HD.
Yep.
Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, sorry. And so now I'm halfway through the game. I'm in the last chapter. Just like a Ace Attorney game, the start of the last case is the halfway point.
Yeah, even if you're just doing mostly story, like the bulk of the game is in the last chapter, because I think it's like the first 3 chapters are like 25 battles or so.
I think it's like 30. I think it's 32.
And then
battles.
there's like 20 plus battles in just the story alone in chapter 4, not even counting like side stuff.
Yeah.
And then if you do any side stuff at all, you're getting like 35 fights basically. It's insane.
So from what I read, it's basically 70 fights total in the game.
And is that
like,
the story and story
with,
or story and side quests?
I think that's with side quests. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're at the halfway point, mostly.
Yeah, so I am taking a quick break from the actual story because that shit sucked for the chapter 3 boss.
Like I said, even with
sucks.
Wheatgraph is fucking balls hard. Great character, fucking balls hard fight.
Yeah, that I mean, the shit that took place right after it was like, oh, okay, whew.
Like I said, even with the rebalancing
up to it is
even with the rebalancing, like chapter 4 is usually like generally easier than chapter 3, so like you should be in the clear now, but that doesn't mean slack off. Like you do got to do some like work to make sure you stay caught up.
I am, and that's sort of like I attempted a fight and I like kind of got my ass handed to me, and I was like, okay, I need to get auto potion on everyone. I need to get safeguard on everyone, so like
you don't lose your equipment.
Yeah, it can't be destroyed or stolen because that shit pisses me off.
Yeah, there's gonna be more like fights where they have a unit or 2 that can do that. It's not every fight, so you might be able to like get away with like changing your abilities here and there, but like there's quite a few moments where they just are like rend shield or rend helm or steel sword, steel weapon,
and I'm like that. I'm not here for that. That this shit costs money at this point, and I need this shit. It gets very annoying to have to then re-equip shit after the fight.
Yeah.
It's So
brutal.
I've got like 3 people training on dark mage right now, which is a funny way to do that. I'm trying to get everyone to unlock all the male characters to unlock Bard so I can get movement 3 on them.
God, just fucking run around the map.
Yeah, with movement 3 on everyone. Movement 3, auto potion, and the safeguard. Just for fun. Is my plan. And then run like 2 or 3 ninjas to double attack.
I think you can get away with having like a character to not have safeguard and like have like, if you want, you could have like a mage that has like swiftness so they can cast their magic faster, or like a magic boost just so they do more damage. But it's safeguard's always good. There's a lot of good abilities like to like toy around with in that game.
Yeah, I need to just unlock more. So Ramses very close. He's on the last little bit to get to the last class he needs to level 5 so he can unlock Mimic, and then we'll see where we go from there, because that's sort of where he's been the guinea pig to do all the grinding for Mimic or whatever it is.
When one of your classes is the replacement for Squire and it's actually really good, you might as well do it.
Yeah, so that's sort of what I'm doing. I'm very early into chapter 4 as far as like the game the story goes. Like I did like 1 or 2 fights, since it did the title screen chapter 4, and it's just.
Oh, I think you
doing a
did.
little bit grinding.
I think you might have done that fight where like you help. I think it's Olan or whatever, and like on the super vertical level with like the high with like the building
Church
and like
type thing.
It's like during the snow, and he has like this skill that can just like turn everybody like to like freeze them, but like it's a random chance. I feel like
that's in chapter 3. Yeah.
Oh, that was in chapter 3. Okay.
Yeah, because like the start of chapter 4 is like he's talking with his dad about shit that's happening with the Templar Knights. Right. They've already introduced him as a character and like kind of his faction. The game is interesting as far as like the story goes. I do have to do more reading, but my issue is I don't have time at the moment. It's like I can either play the game or I can read the game.
On the plus side, like they did a good job with the script, and the voice acting is really good. Oh, yeah. So like they can.
It's really nice. Like
they convey the story well enough.
Yeah, I do want to read some of the more like some of the stuff that's happening in the world at large, because that is something I do enjoy. Especially like you had mentioned it, but like the Trails games have that.
Yeah,
when you have access to that, like even if it's through the newspaper, but like all the supplementary like reading material in the game.
Yep,
builds,
pretty similar.
Like it helps build the world out.
Do you have anything else you've been up to?
I watched Wall Street with Charlie Sheen in it, baby.
You know, I realized the morning after this morning, after you sent that message, I realized when you mentioned like it has Charlie and Martin Sheen in it, and I'm like, wait, I think I've seen that actually. I think I watched it in like a finances class when I was in high school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's been so long though, I don't remember anything about it.
It's worth rewatching because Michael Douglas plays Gordon the Gecko, who is like this insane stockbroker type guy, and like he kills a performance, and both Charlie and Michael do really well in their stuff. I was reading some stuff on it, and it's funny that apparently numerous people have like approached all of the actors for that movie and like mentioned how that movie got them to go into like being a stockbroker, even though like that's the exact opposite message of the movie.
Like they were trying to teach people not to do that.
But people were like
the type of person that watches The Wolf of Wall Street and is like, I want to be exactly like Leo DiCaprio.
It's like, no, you don't.
It's like, no, don't do that.
And that's sort of like, that's like legitimate, and that's why I'm like, yeah, that's probably why you like watch it in a finance class, because it does a pretty decent job of showing like kind of the dangers of insider trading in a lens where you can understand what's going on without having like super deep knowledge of like the stock market. So it's funny. It's a good movie, and apparently they made a sequel with Shia LaBeouf as like a character, one of the characters in it, and I think that's funny, even though it's probably not as good. Anyway, pretty much that. There was like a couple other movies on the Criterion Channel I've watched, but that was definitely The Devil's Advocate, a sequel with the actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Yes.
Oh.
Wall Street 2 that's literally the name of it. And then The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacone, who plays Satan.
You mean Al Pacino?
Al Pacino, sorry, yes. Oh my god. Al Pacino.
I think you said you got Al Pacino and Al
Capone. Yeah, I was thinking Al Capone.
Al Pacone.
I did it. No, Al.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever his name is, whatever the actor's name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who he plays Satan, and it's fucking awesome. It's
hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Well,
Criterion Channel has corporate thrillers as one of its main drops this month for movies.
Ah, so okay. I gotcha.
I'm going through watching a bunch of
those ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is everything that we've got for you guys in this episode. Just as a heads up to the live viewers and also for the listeners, because same schedule. But we will be taking an extra week off between this episode and the following one. So we will not see the live listeners until the 29th, 3 weeks from now, which means that 10 days or 9 days after that will be a 3-week gap between that and the export of the podcast, where we will be talking about 2003 gaming year in retrospective. So that'll be interesting.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully you're looking forward to that. But thank you everybody who tuned in live. We had Al, we had K the Potato, we had Pixel Vixen. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you any VOD watchers who check this out later. We're going to roll the outro though. Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. If you enjoyed us, consider subscribing to our podcast RSS feed, or follow us on youtube.com/GamingStooges and twitch.tv/GamingStooges for more gaming content. If you'd like to chat with us, join our Discord. The link can be found in the episode description. We also want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your continued support means a lot to us. Not already one? Please take a look at what we have to offer anyone who becomes a patron at patreon.com/GamingStooges. See you next time!